All right, Brakte House, Brakte House Shine, Brakte House, Brakte House Shine, Kalpalaya House, Batin House Shine, Batin House Kakadash. Double honor to the elder apostle, a great militant Wu will. Sincere citation, I'm going to put in the truth. I caught the four corners of the earth to the fear and power of Yahweh, Batin House Shine, as the hope of elect. Citation is like foreign that scattered amongst the nations that believe in the name of Yahweh, Batin House Shine. Shalom to the sisters and family that tune into this gospel, preach around the whole world. Peace and mercy unto you. And who the world inwardly called God, his name Yahweh. And who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, his name Yahweh Shai. I read a Hebrew Israelite that consists of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and those who line descendant go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel due to the scattering amongst the nation. All right, it's an article on express.co.uk. All right, title is Pakistan Prime Minister held Taliban victory as they adopting Western culture worse than slavery. All right, and in a way, he's right because it's not so much of a physical slavery when you're in chain and shackles. All right, it's a mental. All right, and I'm pretty sure in this article talk about how America, European countries, all right, which is Edom, all right, which is called white man, pushes his agenda, all right, his democracy, his religion, all right, his rainbow, all right, all these things that he pushes on these other nations, all right, that wine that he pushes with the golden cup in his hand. Okay, so we're gonna get the more info out of this article and get the scriptures. Okay, if the Imran Khan even claimed that the country attempt to adopt Western culture, all right, during the 20, that's the key word, Western culture, adopt, to take on. The 20 years that the 20 years the U.S. led coalition where there was worse than actual slavery, the leader of the nuclear state, which shared a huge porous border with Afghanistan, spoke after the Islamic militant took control over vast swatches of the country, including the capital, Kabul. All right. Totally ignoring the group well-documented barbarity, Mr. Khan said, when you adopt someone's culture, you believe it to be superior, and you end up becoming a slave to it. And you're absolutely right. Okay, he's added, you take over the other culture and become psychologically subservient, right? Basically, you take a hold of the ways of that Western culture want you to behave and think. All right, and that's what Esau does. All right, he pushes his ways on how you should think, how you should operate and live. All right, and that's through his democracy, through his education, through his Rainbow Coalition. All right, and religion. When that happens, please remember it is worse than actual slavery. It is harder to throw off the chains of cultural enslavement. And same thing with Israel had to go through. All right, and we're still vast majority of our people, all right, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, are still under that psychologically subservient, all right. But only the elect had came up out of that, all right? In Revelation 11, all right? After 350 days, like it's 3.5 days, 350 years. So after the approaching the 1970, all right, Israel, Jake started to stand on their feet, all right? knowing who they are, heritage and all that, calling them the name of Yahweh Shah Shai. All right, because only the elect gonna check up out of that. All right, and that's why you see brothers waking up all over the world, coming up out of uh, that uh, Gentile state of mind. All right. Uh, too much going in my mind. Basically, the breath had entered into them. All right. Got the Thainu Ezekiel 37. All right. Quicken in the spirit. Okay. Oh shit. Back. Let me read this last part, because this proves that Edom is trying to keep the mind control over Afghanistan. Here we go. Okay, Mr. Khan said of the Taliban in Afghanistan, what is happening in Afghanistan now, they have broken the shackle of slavery. His comment was quickly slammed, with many pointing out that they failed to acknowledge the group appalling human rights record, or the fact that the West tried to bring democracy to the country. Yeah, but they don't want democracy in that country, all right? Because they know democracy is the so-called white man ways of influence that country and taking it over. All right. Another thing, the Pakistani Prime Minister just heralded the victory of the Taliban as overcoming the shackle of slavery. All right. Just for the record, he studied English medium school in Kabul as science of mental slavery. Yeah, he's right about that. I guess Iran hated English when he studied at Cathedral School before in Royal Grammar School and in Worcester in England. His outburst came shortly before Boris Johnson spoke to Mr. Khan about the ongoing situation in Afghanistan. That's the part I wanted to say. The Prime Minister underlined that any recognition of the new government in Afghanistan needs to happen on an international, not unilateral basis. Why? Because they ain't trying to take control of that. He said that the legitimacy of any future Taliban government will be subject to them upholding internationally agreed standards on human rights and exclusivity. Why? Because they still want to keep basically they want to be off in their business. All right. Well, we should see what happens, but we got the main thing that it's talking about. All right. Because it's gonna tell you that these other nations, don't like the fact that Edom is in their country. Okay. This is Revelation 17. And 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. And that woman talking about America. Scarlet-colored beast is the NATO of the EU. All right, full of name of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And 7 heads, 10 horns going into the main country that's involved in the NATO and the EU. All right, Great Britain, Germany, France, Italy. I got the picture right here. Let's just bring it up. All right, go right here. It's blurry. All right, Greek. And sorry, did England already. Great. Belgium. Alright, those are the 10 head. Luxembourg. Alright. And then the 7 head also. Okay. Then and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, colored and decked with gold and precious stones and pearl, having a golden cup. This is the point right here. A golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication. All right, and that's what these other countries are suffering. All right, they are having to drink that of the golden cup. Okay. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great. It's a mystery. All right. The mother of harlots. All right. Abomination of the earth and abomination of the earth. Okay. Now, trying to get the point. So down. Here it is right here, verse 15. And he saith unto me, the water which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are people, and multitude, and nation, and tongue. Right, because they control the earth. All right, the NATO, the EU. Okay, all these different countries and nations. For example, Afghanistan, which we're covering an article right now. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. All right, those that are native to the EU are going to hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. What can do that? Thermonuclear missiles, ICBM. And guess what? Even though Afghanistan is not part of the NATO and the EU, but they can shoot their missile on America too, because they have ICBM as well. Okay. Jeremiah 51, and instead, all right, because this is going into Babylon, which America is going to be destroyed. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquities, for this is the time of the Lord Yahweh shall try vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense, a righteous payback. All right. Babylon, verse 7, has been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh shall try hand. Okay, that made all this is the script I was looking for. All right. That made all the earth drunken, right? Because with that wine, what we read in Revelation, all right, they that golden cup, that pushed the abomination across the earth, all right, and have the other nations. Here it's talking about how they actually are drunken, all right. That's why he said the prime minister said it's worse than slavery. Okay. All the earth drunken, the nation has drunken with her wine. Therefore, the nation are mad. Okay, and Afghanistan is one of those nations. All right, that basically came up out of that drunkenness. Okay, but this is the Lord how about y'all try to do it? Because we just read it. It's been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Okay, Revelation just say how America had the golden cup in its in her hand, and then here in Jeremiah 51, it tells you that the golden cup been in the Lord's hand. Okay, because he having Edom do this pushing this agenda on the earth. All right, wickedness, abomination. Okay, with what? Democracy, education, religion, Rainbow Coalition. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. As though be she may be healed. Right, because there's no healing for this place. All right, America is on its way out. There's nothing they can do to bring the place back. All right. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let us go, everyone, into his own country, where her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky. Right. So this place is already disdained and marked for destruction. All right, gonna have a judgment that is gonna be uh, brought down upon this place. Okay, via Mithra. The Lord Yahweh have brought forth our righteousness come, and let us declare and die on the work of the Lord Yahweh our power. Make bright the arrow, which is talking about the Mithra, gather the shield. The Lord Yahweh have raised up the fear of the king of the Mede, where his device is against Babylon. Okay? And Mede out there in the Middle East as well. To destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh the vengeance of his temple. Okay? Set up the standard upon the wall of Babylon, which is the scripture. Make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare for the ambusher. For the Lord Yahweh have both the devices and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. Okay? That's pretty much it. I don't want to keep going short time my break, but the main point was that wine, all right, that golden cup that Esau Edom, mainly America, is pushing on these other countries, all right? And we have an example here of Pakistan experiencing that and shaking it off. So America's already losing, and it's going to be destroyed very, very soon in their future. So with that, shalom.